Well, anyway, so I was going through the first game. I was thinking, man, this guy's really cool. He's cooler than Mega Man. And then I got to the end after, like, you know, because, like, back in those days, like I said, there was no internet, so I had to make maps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had to draw them out.
I had to draw them out,
oh,
man.
boy. And the passwords. Let's not forget the password system.
Yeah, the passwords.
Wait,
but, like, the...
You beat Metroid? Wait, we're talking about Super Metroid.
No, we're talking about Metroid 1.
You beat Metroid?
Yes.
See, this is a funny thing because it was so hard. I never actually beat it.
I was a better gamer back in those days. I feel like when I was younger, my reflexes were better. But anyway, but I can't do it today. Like, that's the thing. I could beat it then. I can't beat it now.
I actually think it's less about reflexes and more about determination. It just, like, the drive to actually finish it is not there.
Yeah, maybe.
Anymore. That's my... Anyway, go ahead. So
you get to the end, and, like, the first time through, it took forever. Mm-hmm. But then I did it, like, quicker, and...
more of her suit comes off.
And more of her suit comes off, but, like... I did it quicker, and, you know, and you realize, oh my god, it's a woman. And then, like, in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, I thought it was a guy. Wait a minute, the fact that she was a woman made absolutely no difference to the gameplay? Oh my god. Like yeah. It was about...
Oh, it's awesome.
It put me into the psychology of a person and made me realize that, like, sex is irrelevant to how a person thinks. Like, there's a lot of, like, comedians who sort of are like, women do this and women do that, but it's all, like, social... it's all a social construct. So, like...
You're saying that Metroid helped you gain an equality view?
Yes, like more so than any feminist diatribe by certain people, that Metroid accomplished that by being awesome instead of, like, berating artists to make what they think artists should make.
No bitterness there?
Ugh, a little bit of bitterness, because, like, God, that just really pissed me.
Now, okay, let's be fair. It was a little cheesecake that, you know, you took off her clothes and whatnot.
But a little bit, but it's like she's been...
But that looks positively cuddly by today's standards.
Well, like, yeah, she was... See, like, I don't see sexualization as sexism. Especially, like I have a friend on Tumblr. I have quite a few friends on Tumblr, but I have this one friend on Tumblr.
Who do you have friends with on Tumblr? I want friends.
You know,
he has all the friends.
I don't have all the friends. I should probably turn this hint system off, but
The what?
The hints system, it sort of tells you which way to go.
That is gay.
Oh, God, okay.
Because, like, on Bioshock, I turn off the arrow. Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
I don't, because I'm lazy. Because, like,
after the first time. First time playthrough, fine. But
well, like, I leave the arrow on, even after I've played through it, because I'm like, well, I'm going to explore, but once I've explored, that just sort of tells me where to go. You know, like, I don't need to not have the arrow there to explore. Like, it's not like a Pavlovian thing where, like, see the arrow and have to go there.
Oh, well, it kind of is for me. The arrow is, like, it's not Pavlovian, it's just a big fucking golden arrow.
See, like, I completely forget that you don't have your charge at the beginning, so I'm, like, pressing the button to charge, and, like, nothing's happening. I'm like, where's the charge? And then I'm like, oh, I don't have it.
Dude, go Retro Studios, because, goddamn.
Okay, so, yeah, I don't remember where I was supposed to go, so I'm just going where I think I'm supposed to go.
Okay, now, you go back to your previous point now about the psychology of stuff.
Oh, yeah, well, just my opinion that, that Metroid is one of the games where, the example that I give of inhabiting a psychology, is what makes the game good.
Mm.
So, like, and, like, controls can help that. And that's what makes these Metroid Prime games so good on Wii, is that, like, it's really easy with the control to sort of make that leap that you're actually sort of, like, controlling, you know, you are Samus, you know.
So, could we make the reverse assumption that women can, like, understand that sort of thing by playing, like, Half-Life?
I don't know, maybe. Well, see, the point isn't that it's given me an idea or a insight into the psychology of a sex, but rather the psychology of a person. Like,
yeah. By the way, I am, like, probably more sexist than Morgan is.
See, like, that's the funny thing. You talk about, like, being feminist leanings more than me. But I'm like, fuck feminism, you know?
Well, you know, in some way, I don't know, like...
Oh boy, this is going to be a great episode, by the way.
We're going to be very popular.
We are going to be very popular.
I don't know, I don't know. I go back and forth on things. Morgan knows this. I fence straddle a lot. And, and, you know, in some ways, you know, depending on what you read about people's opinions, neuroscience, you know, etc. Let's just say that oftentimes it feels like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Only oftentimes?
You know, there's at least like maybe once a year when I'm like, wow, I kind of know what I'm talking about.
I'm terrible at this first boss fight.
Well, like, dude, fucking nobody likes fucking, what did they call that trope? The goddamn bats. Like, just little annoying enemies.
They're like really fucking hard to hit because they apparently can't fire fast enough.
They're not satisfying to kill. They're just there to be fucking annoying.
Yeah. I think of all, like, this... I remember the first time I played through this, the very first time, I was like, I just wasn't really impressed. I don't know, I was just such a Super Metroid fanboy. I was like, new thing? Fuck you. But, like, nowadays, I would rate this... Well, I would rate... If I were to put the Metroids in a rating system, I would rate Super Metroid and Metroid Prime 2 about equal, followed by Metroid Prime, followed by Metroid Prime 3, and then, like, it sort of gets murky from that point on.
Okay.
God damn it, just... And it's sort of... It's a little bit more difficult in this situation because... like, if you locked on, you'd be right on the center of them when you were playing before.
Yeah.
With this, you know, you're kind of off-center, so you have to aim and then aim.
Ah. Interesting. Oh, yeah, because it would hold your orientation, yeah. Alright, well, going back to what I said, I guess I'll try to finish my point. My point being that, you know, as far as the whole feminist thing is that I try to tell myself that I have, you know, more feminist leanings, but sometimes trying to announce that you are one thing or another just helps expose your own bigotry.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I find that...
See, like, my approach to the whole thing is, like, I think the big problem nowadays, especially in, like, with kids and stuff like that, is they're taught what to think, not how to think. So, like, I see feminism as, like, being towards that ideal, where, you know, someone's being told what to think, not how to think. Like for example, I actually, like, support a lot of things that feminists fight for, like a woman's right to choose. Like, I support that 100% because to me, it's not an issue of a woman's right, it's an issue of a human right, because, like, you know, it's an issue of, like, your body. Like I think I make the leap and I sort of think, okay, what if suddenly things kind of changed and, you know, it suddenly became socially acceptable to suggest that I should be, you know, or forced to have a vasectomy, or you know, it's like, it's my body, you can't tell me what to fucking do with it. And so likewise, so that sort of leads me to make the logical leap that maybe women have the same kind of rights, maybe. So it's sort of like, well, you know, that's why I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-choice not because feminists tell me to be pro-choice, but because, you know, me thinking has sort of led me to be pro-choice.
I think I get what you're saying there. That,
you know, and it's the same, and that's why, like,
where are you going?
I'm supposed to go back. I don't have the morph ball.
Ah.
You need the morph ball to progress into that thing.
Okay, here's my problem with this game. Backtracking.
See, I don't mind backtracking if it's a part of the game. Just like, you know, if anything that a lot of people would define as annoying are really just like, I have no problem with this if it's like integrated into the design of the game. And it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's backtracking in, I mean, Bioshock, Jesus.
But even then, I think Bioshock's more linear than this.
Yes.
And
Yes,
and
it is.
that's partially why the backtracking is what engages me. In all honesty.
You mean like seeing things in a new way?
Well, sort of like I couldn't get like even this map. Like I couldn't get to this map before, but then I got the missiles and suddenly I can get to the map. You know, like.
I guess it just depends on like how you do it, really.
And it's even like that's why I rate Super Metroid above this is because like you could sequence break. I mean, you could sequence break in the GameCube version of this, but you can't sequence break in the Wii version. They fixed that.
What could you do before?
You know, like the jump boost thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, like, you could do a thing in the GameCube version where, like, if you were standing on your ship and dodged to, I think, like, the left or right, I forget which, you could sort of game the system and get up to that plateau and get that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But they fixed that.
But they fixed that, so you can't do that. But like Super Metroid, the ability to sequence break remains largely intact, even in the Virtual Console version. So like,
is it mostly because of the wall jump?
It's mostly because of the wall jump. And you know, the wall jump. Like I was so proud of myself when I figured out how to do that and do it well. Although I haven't played the game in like a couple of years, so I probably can't do it that well anymore. But
no, it's just it's those three monkeys. Those three monkeys teach you how
yeah,
to wall jump. They're like, wah, wah. But, you know, you have to press the controller to the opposite side and then hit jump.
yeah. Well, it was sort of
tricky.
like. Well, the thing he had to look for, and this is why I'm probably not as good as at it now, and it's certainly more difficult because there's like, a tiny bit of lag on TVs nowadays, especially on this one. I mean, you don't notice it for the most part, but on stuff like that where like one frame made a difference. Yeah, it kind of makes it harder to do nowadays on like LCDs and stuff like that. I have a CRT for this. So.
Oh. That is
yeah,
lame.
CRTs are lagless.
I still have a giant heavy monitor. I just keep it around for nostalgia, really. Wow, what could happen here?
Wait, what? It's funny, I'm just like, I'm not even thinking, I'm just sort of going through the motions because that's how much I've played this fucking game.
It's cool, man. It's cool. It's reminding me of Borderlands.
Yeah.
I know that's weird.
Well, no, I get it.
But
I get it.
There's things in front of you, you're shooting them.
Yeah, yeah. Except this is like I like Borderlands 2. I like it a lot. Like, I hated the original Borderlands. Fucking love Borderlands 2. But the Borderlands and this game aren't sort of in the same league ever. Like I am convinced that, you know, another game that will come out that will replace Borderlands 2. You know, like.
Well, I mean, Borderlands is a loot game.
Yeah, it is. So like, it's not.
No.
Oh boy. But like nothing will ever beat, like replace Metroid Prime. Like nothing, unless they like revamp it, and that's not going to happen. Especially after Other M, which was awful.
No, they may, you never know. I mean,
there's some things okay, I don't know, but I have a damn good idea.
Well,
come on, just attack me, you son of a bitch.
I am going to telegraph my attack. I love telegraphing attacks, by the way. I am so grateful that they do that.
Come on.
This is going to be way easier once you get the charge beam. Why don't you just missile him?
That's a good idea. I don't know. I just like shooting things. I keep
it's cool. It's just you're just shooting lemons. Just
yeah, yeah, the lemons. But
oh,
morph ball acquired.
This is where we insert the sex jokes about how she's so flexible. She
See,
can contort into a ball.
this is why I was always disappointed that once you got the morph ball, you never got the fucking like shoulder pads, because it looks like, you know, these would be like the shoulder pads, right? But then they're like, where do they come from?
Well, see, the thing is that, like, in the original Metroid, like, you know, you had the ball before you got the Varia.
That's true.
And so, you know, I never...
God, I remember when I first played Metroid, and in all honesty, like, same with this game, I didn't like it at first, because, like, I saw it as, like, a Mega Man kind of game. At first, I was like, I have to go right. I have to go right. And then, like, I find out much later, or not much later, but I find out, you know, eventually, that, you know, you're supposed to go left.
You have to go left.
At first. You know?
And you're like, what? Dude, do the half pipe.
I can't, oh, that's right. Well, I can't really, because I don't have the boost. You need the boost to do the half pipe.
Son of a... See, I forget that shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. I forget that it was like... It, you know, that's one gameplay progression thing. It's like, here's one step, we're gonna bust it into two. Haha.
Doesn't bother me. It really, because, like, that's, in all honesty, that's what I enjoy about the Metroid. Because, like, for me, I get into this zone where I'm like, okay, I've got this, now I need to go get this. Okay, I've got this, now I need to go get this. I need to go get this. You know, like, to me, that's more enjoyable than jump right, shoot, use the weapon that the boss is weak to. You know, like, it just engages me more.
Yeah, but in Mega Man, part of the joy
God.
was in attempting to beat a boss without the weapon that he was weak to. You know? And by joy, I mean the horrid sadomasochistic frustration of...
Well, and, like, for me, the stuff that I found annoying was, like, the levels. Like, that, I mean, it's not that they were so difficult that I couldn't progress through them, but they were just, like, obnoxious. Like, the boss battles are kind of fun, but then, like, you know, you
get... stage, baby.
For Gutsman. Like...
Oh, well, okay, but here's the thing. Again, you are the better gamer, because I've never beaten the original. I started with Mega Man 2.
Well, I've never beaten a Mega Man. Like, so, whatever that means, but I gave up on Mega Man 1 because it was, I'm gonna admit, it was too difficult. Like Gutsman, fuck that stage.
What happened?
Oh, well, Gutsman, like, there are these, like, platforms that are moving back and forth. He talked about it on Sequelitis, Egoraptor, where, like, you know, you're on the, you're on this platform moving left and right. And then, like, you see below you another platform moving left and right, but there's, like, a gap, and it jumps, it, like, the platform sort of, like, goes down like that, and so that lets you know that you're supposed to jump over it. It's like, okay, that's fine, I can do that. But then you get to then there's, like, one right below it where it's like, there are 3 spaces really close together, and to this day I have trouble with that. Like, I can get over it eventually, but it's certainly not what I would call easy.
Is it instant death if you fail?
Yeah, of course. That was the other thing about spikes and all sorts of stuff. It was like, hey, you're gonna die instantly all the fucking time.
Nintendo hard, baby.
Yeah, well, I have no problem with Nintendo hard. I do have a problem with hey, fuck you hard, and that always felt like hey, fuck you hard, to the point where, like, beating it never felt like a reward, but sort of like, finally, like, that was always the emotion that I had when I got to a boss.